The month of May is when many draw attention to Mental Health Awareness Month. According to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, millions of Americans are living with mental illness, and the pandemic has only complicated the care and treatment of it. Today, we look closer at a few initiatives in our area that are approaching mental health services in new ways. A Brooklyn Center organization is offering free mental health services to families and children. CCX News reporter Sarah Tamer gives us an inside look into the Lee Carlson Center for Mental Health.
Inside the Lee Carlson Center,
we do therapy services, we do school-linked mental health services.
You'll find mental health practitioners advocating for the young and old.
Needs in mental health have just skyrocketed, and we have so many people reaching out to us for help.
The organization is now offering virtual classes for families at no cost. Mental health practitioner Victoria Sheelander,
the pandemic has just had a huge effect on everyone,
says now more than ever, mental health services are necessary.
I've seen a lot of anxiety. A lot of people are having trouble in social situations. Being apart from people for so long has had a lot of effects, especially on growing minds.
Once a week, the virtual program focuses on a different topic, from handling stress to daily routines. Sheelander says the program has become a guide for parents needing the extra support.
You know, a lot of parents just feel like they don't have enough tools and they don't really know what to do. I mean, there's no handbook on parenting.
Sheelander hopes the program will make mental health resources easily accessible for families who may not always know where to turn for help.
Parenting's a really difficult job, and a lot of parents, just love to have those little tips that they can use daily. We could add more support in schools. We could add more education into schools. My parenting group is a great option because that's giving parents more skills to use at home.
In Brooklyn Center, Sarah Tamer, CCX News.
To learn more about the virtual program, you can head to our website, ccxmedia.org. There's a growing demand for mental health services training, and one local provider is seeing that firsthand. For today's Newsmaker segment, we sat down with Russ Turner, who trains staff and community members through the People Incorporated Training Institute.
The training we do at the People Incorporated Training Institute is basically mental health training, the kind of training that we would bring out to our staff. So People Incorporated has 700 staff in about 60 programs. And we teach our staff basic techniques to work with individuals who are maybe struggling a little bit, dysregulated, anxious, upset, angry, that kind of thing. And in our world, our mental health professionals need a set of tools to interact, to keep things on track, keep people calm, keep people safe. So our workshops, our training classes are those topics.
All right, and how does that intersect with the criminal justice system and some of the needs that you're seeing there?
What's happening is that, 10 years ago, we would only be training our staff, and now we're getting calls and inquiries from all sorts of different people. So just as an example, we trained 1,800 bus drivers for Metro Transit 2 years ago in mental health awareness. We work with Parks and Rec departments. We work with libraries, and these are different staff. They're not our staff. It's like the bubble that we used to operate in has kind of burst, and now we're bringing training out to anyone who's interested in how to work with people who are probably experiencing a lot of trauma, mental health challenges, that kind of thing. So. We're doing some projects with Dakota County Jail, some correctional officers there, Ramsey County Parole Team, and so there is an intersection emerging where the person in the center may be just disinvolved, and we're training some of the people that are around them.
All right. As somebody who's worked in this field for a while. Yeah. What do you think about there being a greater demand for your services? Is that a good thing?
I think it's a good thing. I think it's an amazing thing. 10 years ago, if you talked to someone about this kind of work, they would probably say, oh, okay, that's interesting. Now people are enthused, and you can see that they recognize that that's something kind of interesting to bring sort of like industry-specific training out into the broader community. I don't think that's a normal thing, and we're operating in that space, and it's pretty exciting. I like having a different audience, you know. You know, and you learn more. You learn from each other. You know, training bus drivers. That's a very authentic and interesting place to work.
Well, Russ Turner with People Incorporated, thank you for being here today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
A Maple Grove resident is receiving a prestigious grant from the Plymouth Rotary Club. Javier Fernandez just graduated from the United States Military Academy at West Point. A medical issue prevented Javier from taking the next step into the Army, so he's planning to head overseas to attend the University of Birmingham in England for a program on international security and terrorism. This week, the Plymouth Rotary awarded him with a $30,000 global grant scholarship to help him achieve his academic goals.
My mission, or at least my aspiration, is to help combat extremism by building communal relations. Just because, I mean, from what the research has shown, again, from my experience, is that strong communal relations are key to help curbing people's, deference towards more extremist communities.
Javier's program in the UK will begin in September.
The regular season wrapped up this week for local high school lacrosse teams. In this week's CCX Sports Spotlight, Jay Wilcox features a squad that's had an impressive season, the Armstrong Falcons girls team.
It's been a fun season for the Armstrong girls lacrosse team, and a very successful one. Here's Hammond scoring.
I feel like we build each game and each practice really as a team, and we're just so close.
The Falcons entered their last regular season game with a 10-2 mark.
I'm so proud of our team. We've all been with each other for such a long time, so it's really great to play with all of them. They're all my best friends, so I just love it.
I'm really happy with the way we've grown as a team and learned together and learn the way that each other works.
We can really get through anything. Like whenever we lose, we don't blame each other, we just keep going.
Balance has been a key for the Falcons.
It's super important because then we can't get shut down.
4 players had topped 20 goals coming into the regular season finale, led by Sydney Smith with 32 and Aaron Poloni with 29. It's nice to share the load.
Oh, it's huge because there's so many times teams will just double team a certain player. And for a lot of teams that will make you fall apart, but for us, we can just keep going and everybody contributes.
We have Jenna that is scoring as many goals as she's getting assists, which is key to our success, really having those assists. And then Sydney Smith stepping in with the draws and controlling the transitions. And then Erin finishing and stepping up on the other end and being a sophomore and filling in the leadership roles that she's been doing. They've all been stepping in really well, and it's great to see. And then you put everybody else around us, and it's exciting to watch and see what these girls have to come for the rest of our season.
It hasn't been all smooth sailing, of course.
We picked ourselves back up pretty quick, but it was a bit of a struggle.
After a 9-0 start that included wins over Maple Grove and Wayzata, the Falcons lost back-to-back games to Northwest Suburban champ Andover and then Elk River Zimmerman. Turns out it wasn't the end of the world.
I think we responded okay with it. We took it as a loss and we learned from our mistakes, and I think we're ready to come back now.
The Falcons boys lacrosse team is also having a big spring, but the success for girls lacrosse at Armstrong still stands out.
We love it because the lacrosse boys, they're like, oh, the girls are kind of good, and it's really fun.
Not a lot of teams at the school have competed at quite this level this school year. And the girls are proud of it.
Oh, and a nice catch and tucked away.
100%. And a lot of us were on other teams that don't always do as good. And when we're on a team like this that just loves each other, and it's fun to win, and it's fun to bring the pride to Armstrong, really.
As the Falcons get set for the tough Section 5 tournament in the week ahead, there is balance in scoring for this team, but also in age.
It's really great to know that the seniors we're losing, there's people coming in to help.
A good senior group is backed up by strong junior and sophomore classes. So the success for Armstrong is not likely to be a one-year thing.
We're going to be around for a while, really.
For the CCX Sports Spotlight, I'm Jay Wilcox.
Thanks, Jay. The spring season is heading down the home stretch as we reach the end of May. Action starts on Memorial Day in a baseball section tournament that includes a number of local teams. Northwest Suburban Conference co-champion Maple Grove earned the top seed for the Section 5 4A tournament. Maple Grove is back in Section 5 after several seasons in other sections. Mounds View is the number 2 seed with Osseo seeded 3rd. Then it's Totino Grace, Champlain Park, Spring Lake Park. The Park Center Columbia Heights co-op team is seeded 7th with Irondale 8th. In first-round games Monday, Maple Grove hosts Irondale. Champlain Park visits Totino Grace. Osseo hosts Spring Lake Park. And Park Center Columbia Heights is at Mounds View. Second-round games are slated for Wednesday at the high seeds, with the later-round games to be hosted by Champlain Park or Osseo. And that's it for sports. I'm John Jacobson. Enjoy this holiday weekend. Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.